Good morning. My name is Eric Johnson. I'm a veterinarian in Marietta, Georgia. I have a specialty in fish health, but that's not really what I'm here to talk about today. I am getting around to a subject that I talk about a pretty good bit in practice for dogs and cats, mainly because I see a lot of dogs and cats in my practice that are itching a lot. And they're not itching for the same reasons that they used to. It used to be they would come in and their rear ends and the backs of their thighs and everything would be demolished and there'd be fleas on them, and that was flea allergy dermatitis. Well, over the last 10 to 15 years, things have changed, and the itching cases that I'm seeing they're different, and modern medicine would be calling those atopic or atopy cases. And atopy is a contested term. Some folks want to believe that it is exclusively inhalant allergy, that they are inhaling, basically, to think about it properly, they're inhaling powder, pollen, antigens. They're inhaling these things and they're causing their skin, feet, eyes, and ears to start itching a lot. And I believe that that's true, but I also believe that atopy is significantly impacted by contact. I really believe that when you see a dog showing atopic signs of foot licking and ear infections and general itchiness and dry coat, that it is contact, that they're walking in something or living in something at a ground level that is irritating and or inflammatory / allergic to their skin. So the subject of this comes up as what I would say is ground level micro pollution. And that basically is what is in the pixie dust that's on the ground in Cobb County, Fulton County, and Dekalb County, Georgia, that is so irritating to dog skins that it would create an overload of atopic dogs, foot lickers. That pixie dust has a long explanation, but it is a mixture of soot from the I-75 corridor, and that is I-75 is a great big 6-lane or whatever that goes right through Cobb County and down through Fulton and Dekalb, and we're in an unusual situation there where the air pattern movement over the I-75 corridor doesn't really lend itself to blowing all that air away. In Los Angeles, they have a jet stream coming off the ocean, apparently, and so their air quality can get really bad. But then through certain parts of the year, it gets whisked away, I suppose, inland. But in the Atlanta area, the I-75 corridor has kind of a notorious connotation for smog and then ground level micropollution. So it turns out that when cars produce combustion products, when they put their little bit of smoke out the rear end of the car, it doesn't just go up in the environment and stay there. It settles out sooner or later as a micropollution, and it's pretty heavy in Cobb County in the I-75 corridor. But there's another thing that happens, especially associated with the heat of the summer, and that is the formation of nitric oxide. I'm careful to say it that way because it's not nitrous oxide, which is a laughing gas. It's nitric oxide, and that is a combination of heat plus nitrogen gas plus smog, free ozone. All those things get together and they form nitric oxide, which is actually a compound you have in your cells, and you're supposed to have a tiny little bit of it, and you're not really supposed to have it on you. When it gets on you, it's really quite irritating, if not toxic. And so that's one of the things that we're dealing with in Cobb, Fulton, and Dekalb counties. Actually, the whole world, or the whole United States over. I don't know whether in other countries they're having this problem. Maybe they're more careful. But the 3 dirtiest air counties in the United States, forget New York, forget LA, although Los Angeles for a part of the year is worse. But the worst air in the United States is in Cobb County, Fulton County, and Dekalb County, Georgia. In the United States, or excuse me, in Georgia, the best air quality is in Murray County. And you go, well, oh my God, how do you know this? Can you prove it? And I bet, yes, I can prove it. Let me tell you how. So the Environmental Protection Agency did a study, as they often do. The government runs censuses, and the EPA did some work on air quality, actually some environmental studies on water quality too and all that. But when they were looking at air quality, they found out that a lot of the air in the state of Georgia was pretty toxic, bordering on unlivable. Their research showed quite some time ago, actually, that asthma rates in Cobb County are 1,100% higher than the rest of the country. Asthma rates 11 times higher than the entire country. Cancer rates 4 times higher than the national average, or four times higher than the nation. Anyway, horrible stuff. Brain tumors and crap like that. Air that during certain parts of the year is considered, red line unfit. Well, so the EPA gets this information back, and they're sitting there going, "Oh my God, what are we going to do? Drop this bomb on, Cobb County and Fulton and Dekalb, and just tell everybody there they need to move or something, or mobilize people to carpool, right?" Oh, here I sit in my car, the one passenger, and I'm driving along on 575, looking at everybody in their car, one passenger. These days shall come to pass, but and we'll look back on it. Oh my God, they were all allowed to drive combustion engines to work, one person per car, and the cars were 3,000 to 9,000 pounds. We're going to be a more erudite society, but in the meantime, the EPA got those study results that indicated we need to get the heck out of here, and they quietly tiptoed over to the Library of Congress and filed them. Well, the Sierra Club was on that like stink. They were sitting there going, hey, what did you find out about Georgia? And the EPA said, well, we found out that the air was very bad there. And the Sierra Club said, well, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to tell them? And the EPA said, we did tell them. Here's the report. We put it in the Library of Congress for everybody to read. And the Sierra Club said, wait a second. Nobody's going to the Library of Congress to read this crap. You need to make it known to them down there. We're going to create mass hysteria. No, they need to know. Well, they got in an argument about it, and the Sierra Club and the EPA did some kind of a dance, and they still probably are dancing over this. But it was okay, because before that report disappeared into the mists of legalese, the Sierra Club and or organizations like that formed a website that you need to know about. It's called scorecard.org. And I'm going to make sure it's on the screen right now. Scorecard.org. And that website allows you to put your zip code on the front page, and you put your zip code in there, and it pulls up the results of the EPA and Environmental Defense Fund studies, so that you can put in your zip code and see what the air quality is in your neck of the woods. How awesome is that? And then you can drill down through that, and you can find out what doctors are reporting and what the cancer rates are, and the national averages of water quality, and where the water is safe to drink. And well, it's going to depress you, and it's going to alarm you, and you're going to realize that we got some issues, some significant issues. I've read enough of it to know I can't run. I would literally have to leave the state of Georgia to get to air quality and water quality that would be safe and not give me cancer. But so we can tie this all the way back around to your dog. If your dog goes outside, it is walking around in and breathing this ground level micropollution, and it is drying out his coat and making him itchy, at least in part, and maybe even to a large part. And the problem with this is that steroids, which normally work for allergies and inflammation, steroids help, but not completely, because the coat is dry, literally physically being dried by nitric oxide on the coat, the caustic compounds on the coat. We need to keep our dogs' coats more moisturized, and so I came up with the idea of mixing Pantene Pro V conditioner in warm water, shaking it up and misting it on the dog. It works very, very well. So you at the same time as you're managing Atopy, you have to manage literally physical drying damage to the coat and the skin. They are walking around in a toxic pixie dust, and frequent bathing helps. More frequent bathing than we're doing. And if you bathe your dog more frequently, you have to do it in a shampoo that moisturizes the coat. And by the way, oatmeal shampoos, mark my words, oatmeal shampoos do not, by their nature, moisturize a coat. Oatmeal baths depend on a colloidal effect to push moisture into the skin. When you put an oatmeal shampoo on your dog for 10 minutes and rinse it off, it's not doing anything. There's no colloidal effect. And yet, some of us remember peaceful, soothing baths, lying in a tub with a vino, and having our skins feel better after that. And that's because of the colloidal effect. But you can't just put oatmeal on a dog's skin, or even your skin, and expect that oatmeal to exert a colloidal effect in a few minutes without the water, and then rinse it off and have a benefit. So people say, oh, I'm using something good for dog skin. It's an oatmeal-based shampoo, which is substantially pointless. What you need is a moisturizing shampoo that actually has emollients replacing the moisture in the coat. I particularly favor Neutrogena hair care products. I like and have recommended for 15 years, believe it or not, same bottle all these years, Neutrogena triple moisture in the tube. And I am hopeful that a picture of that just dropped onto the screen. So moisturizing the dog's coat does two things. It moisturizes the coat, but it also eliminates or removes the nitric oxide and other caustic compounds from the environment, that ground level micropollution. Steroids of some limited benefit, Apoquel, which can cause significant cancer, but that is also very effective at reducing the inflammatory response so that those caustic compounds can be on the skin and the dog doesn't throw up a bright red inflammatory response to it. It just is there. I don't know that the dogs don't feel it, but the inflammatory response is absent, and then 10 to 12% odds he's going to end up with lymphoma or cutaneous T-cell or something like that. But I've got other information on that was taken directly from the manufacturer's fine print. I don't have to make anything up on that. That's amazing. It's kind of like, you can't make this kind of stuff up. You just get it from the package insert. Absurd. So this is a long, meandering video trying to bring to you the idea that your dog may be itching not because of fleas, it may be itching not because of allergies, but in all probability in certain counties may be itching because of a caustic pixie dust on the ground, a pixie dust made out of soot and pollen and other environmental compounds that create this perfect dusty elixir of skin itchiness and drying of the coat. And if you want to know that if you're in an area that has these kinds of problems with the air quality and ground level micropollution, you can visit a website called scorecard.org. And at that website, you will see what the Sierra Club and the EDF have put together to report what the EPA, our own government, has duly reported to the Library of Congress and not directly to you. So until that gets settled, we're going to need a third party to bring us the information that we need. So check it out. Yeah, I'm on a soapbox right now, but that's okay. I'm a little salty about our environment. I don't know. I'll be dead soon enough. I'm not going to see the worst of it. If you like the video and you want more information like this, please subscribe. I would appreciate it. I'd like to have a bunch of subscribers, and share it if you know somebody who'd like to know about maybe the brain tumor they're fighting right now in Cobb County, Fulton, or Dekalb County. And that's all for now. Thank you. Have a good day.